Morning, everybody. Apologies for the slide delay. I was having a little slow computer this morning, but we're all on, so welcome. And I've got the lovely Basti on the chat, so if there's any questions and you're wondering what's going on, I'm sure he can answer the questions for you. It's
Excellent.
lovely. Hello, everyone from all sorts of places, Somerset, Gloucester and Norfolk. Great start. I like that. Thanks, Basti. Last week, not yesterday, last week, Cliff took us on a journey on the class, connecting in with the metal element as we were doing our Shiatsu College weekend on the metal element, the lung and large intestine. So what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks is look at the CB channel. What's that? I hear some people say it's the conception vessel, and it runs down the front of the body. It's one of the extraordinary vessels that we have, or channels that we have, on top of our usual 12 meridians. So I'm just going to put up a slide for you to show you what's going on. Oh, thank you, Kim. Cliff is getting much better. So thank you very much. He had one of those hideous colds that's going around. So I'm just going to share the material with you. Hopefully it works. So here we are, the conception vessel. It runs down the front of the body. And it kind of makes sense, really, the yin aspect of our body, the front of the body. And from the umbilical, it's where we're connected to our mother in the womb, and the energy from our mother comes in here. Later, we're going to look at the GV, or the governing vessel, that runs down the back of the body, a little bit more yang. I've really got things muddled this morning. Bit more yang, and energy comes in from our father and sits in our Ming Men. I won't whitter on about that too much because we're concentrating on the front aspect of the body, our extraordinary channel, the conception vessel. It's also got another name, the Ren Mai, or the Ren Meridian. So if you go and have a little look online and you see it's called something else and not conception vessel, it's got several names. Okay, so it's the one that goes straight down the front of the body. Lovely. Exactly, the microcosmic orbit. So as we can see on the slide here, as well as the Du Mai, which is the one down the back, or the Ren channel, basically it forms the microcosmic orbit. I do have a slide of the governing vessel, and it comes in just above the lip and it goes all the way down the back of the body to the base of the pelvis. So I'm just going to whiz through my slides. You get to see what's coming up. As you can see here, this is the governing vessel, and that makes up the microcosmic orbit around the body with the conception vessel. All right, I'm going to come back to the first slide here, just to have another little look. And as you can see, we're going to start off near the beginning, but not right at the beginning. We're going to go into number 3, which is just underneath the umbilical, the belly button, and a little higher than the pubic bone. But we'll get into that point of the week in a little while. So I'm going to stop sharing my slides. Great. And I will share a poll in a moment, but I thought what we could do is, before we get into any extra moving and finding this gorgeous central line and how it connects with the chakras as well in our body, how about we just come to sitting? You might want to sit on the floor. We might want to sit on the chair. I'm going to sit on a bolster here. Relax my hips into the ground. And we're just going to check in, how's the shoulders doing? Just rolling the shoulders round, forward and back, opening the chest very gently, nice and easy. That's great. And then releasing the arms, just giving them a shake out. And then you can either place the hands resting on the legs, or you might want to take one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, connecting in with the front of our bodies, the yin quality on the front of the body. Easy elbows and shoulders. You can close your eyes if that feels okay. And we're just going to take a breath in and a breath out, just noticing what it feels like. Perhaps it's nice and smooth as you breathe in and smooth as you breathe out. Perhaps you notice it's getting stuck somewhere, and that's okay. Just noticing. Perhaps it's a little shallow or really deep. So just seeing how the breath is in the body. And then we're just going to use one hand. We're going to start at the upper part of the body on the chest, the upper chest, and we're just tuning in here. So I like to use touch. That's how I tend to pick up things and learn and listen. If it's easier for you to have the arms relaxed, do whatever feels comfortable for you. So I'm going to place a hand on the upper chest, and I'm just going to tune into this area and see how it feels. You all know where it is. It's the upper burning space. So we're just tuning into how the upper burner feels. You might get a sense of a color or a texture, if it's tight or thick, or if it has a metaphor to it or an image. So just taking a snapshot of how this area feels. I can notice I can breathe in nicely, but somehow the breathing out's not quite as smooth and as easy as it could be. So whatever that is for you, just taking a moment to recognize it and acknowledge it, not necessarily changing anything. Great. And then we're going to move the hand to just below the sternum and above the belly button, above the navel. And we're just going to tune in here our middle burner. We're all very familiar with this. Stomach, spleen, liver and gallbladder. So just checking in with this. Seeing how it feels. Is it tight or held? Or perhaps it feels really smooth and easy. You might sense that all the way to the back of the body, how that feels, and the sides as well. Taking a little snapshot of what that feels or has a sense of in this area. Great. So taking a little snapshot of what that feels like. And then taking the hand just below the belly button into our lower burning space. An area that we're going to look at most today, because we're going to start on the CV channel, the Ren Mai channel at the beginning. We're going to start at number 3, point of the week, number 3. It connects in with the lower burning space. So we're just going to tune in here. You might want to close your eyes. Or you can have gentle gaze, keeping the eyes nice and soft. And the same thing here, just tuning in. How does that feel? Is it held? Does it feel full? Is it nice and expansive and full of warmth? Does it allow the breath to pour deeply into the body? Is it relaxed? And again, finding a kind of flavor or quality of what that feels like in the lower burning space. So just taking your hand away from that area if it was holding just underneath the belly button. And if we've got our eyes closed, we're just going to gently open them. And I'm going to see if I can find a slide for us, a poll for us, I mean. Here we go. So I'm going to share, which burner would you like to work on the most today? So as we've tuned in, perhaps somewhere feels tight or needing a little bit of encouragement this morning. Starting to come out a little bit equal. Not too bad. Yeah, fairly equal. Oh, so it's 36% the middle burner, 36% the upper burner, and the lower burners come in at 27%. So fairly even, more or less. But we'll look at things to do definitely for the middle burner, allowing the upper burner to be expansive to allow the breath in. And then we're going to come to the end and work on our CV channel, bringing more Qi energy into the lower burner so it can feel all round fantastic in our microcosmic orbit. All right, great. So coming to standing, we'll begin there, nice and gentle this morning. Anytime you need to rest or get comfortable sitting, please do. All right, so let's gently come up to standing. Finding our feet, we'll have just a little bit of a shake out, checking in with the body. Don't know about you this morning, but I feel like I've got a good amount of energy, but somehow it's not quite ready to be accessed. It's kind of lurking in the back. So I feel like I can bring this into my body a little bit more so we can see how we feel with our energy and what our body feels like this morning. So just having a little move around. Don't worry if you're making strange shapes. Maybe your household or neighbours can see you, but inhibitions can fly out the window. Yeah. Easing out the body and connecting in with the feet. Great. And we're going to come to a really nice, easy parallel. It might be a little smaller for you or a little wider. Go to where it feels comfortable on the hips. Yeah, lovely. And all we're going to do is just draw in the Qi. We're going to gather it in from the earth, softening the knees, gathering it in from the hands, drawing it up the body. So I'm using off the body with my hands, through the chest, up the front of the body, and then opening the hands out. If there's any shoulder issues, keep the arms more in front and soften the elbows, but allow the palms up towards the sky. And we're going to gather in the heavens energy, drawing it down, kind of like a full tube, kind of like that Star Trek Beam Me Up, Scotty. So we're drawing that energy downwards, down into the ground, through our body, hands and palms facing into the earth again. And then we're going to gather it up, softening the knees, drawing the hands all the way up. Imagine them coming up through the legs with that earth energy, through the pelvis, into the front of the body. Shoulders are relaxed. Breath is nice and easy. Then opening up to the heavens. You might want to look up towards the sky, but if there's any neck issues or tension in the shoulders, keep the head looking forward. You might want to breathe in and gather the heavens energy, and it's got to draw down. Wow, full of light and ease and warmth in the body, all the way down the front, through the pelvis, through the legs and into the feet, into the ground. So we'll do a few in our own time. You might want to go a little bit quicker and get a couple more rounds in, or going nice and gently, really drawing in that gorgeous yin quality of the earth. It's there to nourish and support us. And Then connecting in with the heavens energy, allowing the breath in and giving us that warmth as we're moving. Lovely, all the way through to the earth, and then gathering it in again through the front of the body. You might notice where it's kind of lighting up. You might want to stay there for a minute, gathering the heavens. I've got a kind of tingly feeling through the front of my forehead. And then when I get to about the sternum, bottom of the sternum, diaphragm area, feels like it needs a little help with moving. So checking in to see through the scan and drawing in these gorgeous energies from the earth and the heaven through the front of the body, just tuning into which part of the body, even if it doesn't connect to a burning space, just seeing what resonates as the hands and energy passes through. Lovely. All right, so the next time we draw the heavens energy down, we're going to come all the way down the front of the body, into the ground, palms facing to the earth, sending that energy down through the feet, easy knees and hips and ankles. Great. And then gently shaking that out. All right. Shaking out the feet as well. Okay. Hopefully that's helped scanning through the body and softening the front of the body as well. So just to help get into our physical body a little bit more and allow things to shift, let's get some shaking going on. So let's start with the hands. So allowing the fingers and wrists and the palms to really relax, kind of that wet noodle effect, into the lower arm, into the elbows, and you might want to be a bit more gentle. You might really feel that today you need a little bit more vigorous energy to get things shifting into the upper arm. It really doesn't matter what we look like. Releasing things, Allow the breath to work with the movement into the shoulders. Might be that the torso joins in a little bit as well. Might want to bring the arms up, but giving a really good shake out. Cooked spaghetti limbs. Lovely. And then easing out the arms. Releasing the arms and the shaking. And checking in, how does that chest area and the arms feel? Well, I've got much clearer palms if you look at the palm of your hands. If they're a little bit speckly or dotty, we can flick that energy, any toxins that's come out of the arms, shaking it out and down into the ground. It will absorb it for us. So we want to make sure our palms are nice and clear on the surface. So that will help shift that, keep throwing something sticky off the hands. Lovely. All right, let's come to the feet. So if you want, you can take a hold of the wall or chair or anything that you need to. We're going to shift the weight into one foot and then just shake out the other one. See if we can really allow all the toes to relax. The whole foot. Easy breath. You might want to flex the foot and imagine the heel has got holes in like a pepper pot, and we can shake out the pepper all the way from the top of the head through the whole body. Giving a good shake out and then relaxing the foot again. You can place it on the floor and lift it up anytime again into the ankle, the lower leg, into the knee and the thigh. Super. Wonderful. And then we can make sure there's nothing behind you. We're just going to take the leg through a swing. If that's uncomfortable or too much movement, place the heel on the floor, soften the standing leg and rock the leg in the hip joint to help release the thigh and the hip socket. So you can do either or both, seeing what feels good for you today. Undoing that leg, give a good shake out. Nice. And then we'll come back to parallel. Ooh, checking in. So we've got one really nice, big, fluffy, energetic leg, somewhat of a skinny one that we're going to work on in a minute, and an expansive feeling through the chest and the arms. So we'll shift into that lovely leg we just worked on. We'll begin again on the other side, into the foot. Allowing the toes to relax. Oh, allow the breath to sigh if you need to. That's great. Same thing again, you might want to flex the foot, imagining we've got pepper pot holes in the heel. So you can change the angle of the leg to see what feels good for you. Oh, that feels quite nice there. You can feel something shifting from my ribs all the way down, out of the heel and into the ground. Yeah, and then releasing the ankle, into the lower leg, into the knee. Oh, into the thigh. Wonderful. And then you might want to rest the heel on the ground, bending into the supporting knee, using that lovely earth to support us, rocking the foot to release the thigh and the hip socket. Or you might want to take the leg out for a nice swing, see what feels good this morning, and then giving the leg a nice good shake out. Lovely. All right, so we've worked the arms and a bit the chest, the legs, but actually in some of my dance practice and yoga practice, we've actually got 6 limbs. I know, right? Weird, but we do. So we've got our 4 that are very obvious, then we've got the tail and the head. So that makes up 5 and 6. So I thought we could give those a really nice shake out as well. So we're going to soften into the knees, the ankles and the hips, and just take the tailbone for a little bit of a shake. It might be nice and easy, swaying from side to side. Or if you like, releasing the arms and the shoulder. You might really take the pelvis for a good shake out, warming up the whole pelvic ball, allowing the spine to go with the movement. So going at whatever speed feels good, and you can slow it down. You might want to try speeding it up, releasing the belly and the glutes. Lovely. And then coming back to a gentle sway with the tailbone from side to side, allowing the shoulder girdle to move as well. Yeah, so we're not stuck anywhere. Nice and easy with our movement. That's great. And then we're just going to gently move the head. If you do want to give it a good old shake, you're very welcome to. So you might just want to take the head to look from one side to the other. Really gentle with the base of the neck and skull. One side to the other. Lovely. But if you really want, you can relax the face as well on the front of our head. If you really want, you might want to relax the mouth and give the face a really good shake. You can make a noise as well, so don't worry if we look ridiculous. I look really ridiculous, so we're all good. We're in the same camp there. All right, so allowing the breath to pour in, and then on an out breath, releasing the face. Allowing the lips and mouth to really let go. Great, so we've shaken out our 6 limbs. And before we go into moving through the burning spaces in the CV channel, I'd really like to work on opening up our feet. So I'm going to get my chair. You might want to sit on the floor, and we're going to find our usual gorgeous point of kidney 1. We know where all of that is. I think everybody's Oh, great. Yes. Shaking your tail out more often is a really great thing, isn't it? So nice and easy on the pelvis as we sit. And you can take the foot across the other leg. If this is really uncomfortable, particularly on the hip and the lower leg, if you've got a tennis ball or a spiky ball or one of those dryer balls that you pop in the tumble dryer, if you've got one of those, you can place it on the floor and roll the foot around, and it will do exactly the same thing, allowing the sole of the foot to be nice and free and open. So we're going to rub the hands together, creating some Qi in between the hands. And we're going to take a hold of the ankle, gently squeezing. It's like a gentle but firm squeeze. Imagining we've got clay that we want to warm up before we can really sculpt what we want to feel like and move like. So squeezing the whole foot, sole of the foot, the top of the foot. Wonderful. You might notice an area feels a bit tight, so you might want to use your thumbs. I've got something going on here down the inside part. We all know that's the spleen channel. So don't worry if you're not sure what that channel is. We're just being curious. You might just want to hold your foot for a little moment. Allow the breath to come in. And we're just going to take a hold of each toe, each digit. So I'm going to squeeze down from the metatarsal where the toe joins on the foot all the way down to the tip, giving a nice squeeze. I'm going to do that with each toe, opening up the foot, opening up the joint underneath where our toes attach. So sometimes I think this area gets a little bit stuck. So opening that out. Then into the little toe. Lovely. And then I'll just show for the moment. You can use thumbs into the sole of the foot, but I'm going to lift my foot up so you can see. I'm going to go straight into kidney 1. Big toe and second toe metatarsal right in there, just underneath the ball of the foot. Ooh. God, I think mine definitely needed it this morning. So sending in some lovely Qi. Gorgeous point called bubbling spring. So when we come back to standing in a moment, we can really feel that gorgeous energy bubbling up from the ground to pass all the way through the body. Great. Lovely. All right. And then if you want to, you can have an easy rest, and we're just going to tap underneath the sole of the foot. Waking up the sole of the foot there. Gently tapping. Great. And we're going to swap over, give the other foot a little bit more attention as well. So squeezing around the whole foot, seeing what it feels like, warming up that clay this morning. Lovely, round the ankle, into the heel. Not forgetting the little toe edge of the foot, that blade side of our foot, also could do with some attention as well. Yeah. And then we're going to go down each toe, giving it a good squeeze. Easy breath, checking in with the shoulders. I think mine were joining in, so allowing that to relax. Going down each toe, so we're giving each toe a nice squeeze from the base all the way to the tip. Lovely. And then we're going to get into our kidney 1. You can use the thumbs, I'll show quickly here, with fingertips. You might want to rest the foot on the floor and get into kidney 1 like this. It might be one foot feels really different to the other one. This one feels pretty good. I think my left one definitely needed some love this morning into the sole of the foot. That's wonderful. You might want to stay holding this point or coming to a loose wrist and tapping underneath the sole of the foot. So doing what feels good. You might just want to hold the foot, especially if the sole of the foot's a little bit sensitive this morning, you might not want to tap. Great, and then releasing the hand and the foot. Lovely. I'm actually going to move the chair back a little bit. So if we're sitting, you can do this on the chair or on the floor, sitting. We've got our feet. Obviously, if you're sitting on the floor, you can come to kneeling or cross-legged. I'm thinking about the sitting bones connecting into the ground, because obviously we don't have the feet in contact with the ground, okay? We're just going to come to a gentle movement throughout the spine. It's going to start to gently wake up the CV channel and correlates to the chakras in Indian medicine as well. So I've got a nice slide for that in a little while that I'd like to show. So our CV channel, the conception vessel, the Ren mind, it starts right underneath. So where the root chakra is, right underneath, between the tailbone and the pubis. So we're right on top of it, it's right in the center, and it draws up the midline through the pubic bone at the front, up to the belly button, through the sternum, all the way to the throat, and comes in just underneath the bottom lip. Some have bottom lip on the jawline or right underneath on the chin. So it's connecting us all the way underneath. So having a nice grounded pelvis, whether we're sitting on the chair or on the floor, connecting in with our root chakra is always a good thing. We're going to do a very simple cat-cow movement sitting. So all we're doing is curling the pelvis under, allowing the front of the body to soften, including the head. We don't have to go very big. It might just be a tiny little movement like this. And then allowing the pelvis to move, opening up the front, the midline, and allowing the head to gently float up. If you've got any neck issues, keep the head and the face looking forward. And then again, so it's movement from the tailbone. Allow the tailbone to tuck under, the pelvis, pubic bone to curl upwards as well. And allow the shoulders and the back to curl. And then breathing in, we're allowing the pelvis to curl backwards, opening up the front of the body and to the chin and jaw. Taking your time, seeing how that movement is with the breath, breathing out as we curl forward, breathing in as we lengthen, allowing the breath to draw into the body really gently. And if anywhere is feeling stuck, it's not to worry or panic, but just being with that feeling and allowing the cells in your body to know that it's okay. Even if it's the most subtle movement in the body and we're doing this tiny curl forward, we don't have to move dramatically at all. Oh, you might notice the breath is starting to ease a little bit. We're waking up the spine. It's kind of like awakening the chakras from the root all the way to the sacral chakra, which coincides really nicely with where our point of the week is, CV number 3. Easy movement. Lovely, and we're going to uncurl and calm back to sitting upright. Great. All right, so I'm going to come back to standing again. Unless you'd like to rest on the floor, you're very welcome to. I'm just going to move this chair out of the way again for a moment. See how we're doing on the chat. I think we're all great. Okay, good. No, not too many questions there. Lovely. So we're going to come back to standing. So a lot of your poll was the upper burner and the middle burner that really needed some work doing. So I feel like with our breath being very gentle and a good shake out, we've really helped the lungs to open. So I want to come to the double weighted swing with our, to connect in and undo our middle burner, especially if it's feeling blocked or tight and a little bit obstructed. So we've done this lots and lots before. So see how you feel with a bit bigger stance this morning. You can come to somewhere a little smaller if that's easier for you today. We're going to be kind to ourselves as well. Yeah. So softening the feet in. Wow, they feel much better now we've worked on the kidney point underneath the sole of the foot. And we've got this gorgeous connection through the pelvic bowl and in through the midline from the pubic bone all the way up to the throat. So we've got this gorgeous energy moving upwards. Great. So imagining that we've got like a lighthouse in the body, in the belly, and we're shining it out from the belly. And this is what allows the movement to start. So imagining the light pouring out from one side to the other over the sea, like a lighthouse. And we're keeping the knees soft, the hips easy. We want to maintain the space between the legs so the knees don't dip in. So we've got nice feet. Gentle, gentle movement from side to side. And it can be nice and smooth and small, gentle, if that feels good. Particularly if you're feeling a little bit perhaps cold or with not too much energy. We want to be kind of gentle with ourselves as that's feeling this quality. If there's any frustration or holding or obstructing, you might want to start to allow the arms to kind of swing out a little bit more, becoming a little bit heavier around the wrists, and taking the swing a bit more sideways. So I'll come front one here. Allowing the spine to move freely and the head to be easy on the top. If you're feeling dizzy at all, you can keep the head looking forward, but allowing the spine, so we're not just moving the arms, we're really working the belly area, the front of the body, and allowing it to move up the spine and the breath's coming in. So seeing what feels good for you this morning. If you feel like you really want to get some horrible blocked feeling out of your body, this is the next movement that might be great for you. If it feels way too much, pare it right back and do very gentle movement, perhaps with a smaller stance, okay? Tune in and really listen. Does that feel okay? You know, your gut and your body knows what is okay. We're very intelligent beings. We know when things are too much and we should just pare it back and be kind to ourselves. So if anyone's feeling a little bit more blocked, this is where the larger stance can come in. We're going to allow the twist to lift off the opposite heel. We can really allow more movement in. I think my middle burner needed this morning. Undoing the body, twisting out, squeezing out the liver and gallbladder channels. Don't forget we're still breathing. Nice and easy. Use the feet in the ground. Wonderful. So you can keep going with this movement. You might want to start to slow it down, ground the feet again into the floor. Allow the arms to still wring us out in that middle burning space. And then very gradually, we're going to start to quieten it down again. So if you're at the slower speed and smaller movement, we're going to start to catch you up. Anyone who's going a little bit more vigorously. Wonderful. Gently, gently, allowing that movement to become more still and more subtle. Even though the arms are quiet, the belly's still moving. The midline of our microcosmic orbit still moving from side to side. open on a very tiny, subtle level. Until there's a gentle stillness. Great, lovely. And then we're just going to shake the legs out again. I'm going to check in the time. We've got plenty of time. Wonderful. I'll check the chat as well. Hope we're doing all right. Dizzy orbiting. Yes. If at all you're dizzy, thank you, Basti, for that. Stick with the very gentle movement. And if that's still sending you queasy or dizzy, please come and sit and rest. Somewhere you need more nourishing within the yin aspect of the body. So any dizziness, please don't push it this morning, particularly because we're tuning in with the breath. Sometimes the deeper our breath goes, particularly if we've been a little bit shallow in our breath, sometimes when we draw the breath in a little bit deeper, we can feel a bit heady or dizzy. So being very gentle, resting when we want to. All right, so I'm going to move sideways so you can see. We're going to get into the microcosmic orbit of opening up the front of the body and releasing the governing vessel down the back, the GV. And can be a big movement or a subtle movement, so doing whatever feels good. You could also do it sitting as well. So I'll just demonstrate first the different possibilities of how we can get into this movement of opening up the front of the body and the back of the body. And I'll show the 3 ways that you can do it first, and you can choose what feels good. So we're going to soften the front of the body and allow the arms to float up and breathe in. Gently opening up to the sky if that feels good, making sure that the tailbone's gently drawing down, so we don't want to kind of cut off the breath here. We're allowing the tailbone to gently tuck into the front of the body, can open. And then as we breathe out, we're softening forward, allowing the front of the body to soften. Keep the knees nice and easy and folding over to wherever's comfortable. We really don't have to overdo it. We certainly don't have to have long legs if that's really uncomfortable this morning. It might feel great, so do what feels good. And we're going to breathe out, allow weight into the feet, and then gently, as we get kind of midway, we're going to breathe in again. Come to standing and undo the arms. So we're going to do that a couple of times. So that's the larger movement. Small, earth, opening up the front of the body, and then folding over as we breathe out. And you might just want to take a hold of the knees, curling a little bit the spine. You can allow the shoulders to come up and then relax the head. So allowing the back of the body to gently open up. Breathing out, uncurl, and as we get to kind of a midway point, breathing in, allow the arms to open, and then undoing here, okay? Sitting. We can sit on the chair, or we might want to come to kneeling. It's the same thing that we did with our cat-cow sitting. So we're going to allow a breath in. We can allow the arms to join in as well. And then we can either fold over completely to the floor, if we're on the floor, if that feels okay, into somewhat of a child's pose. And then we're going to use the hands in the floor to uncurl. Or gentle movement with the body like this. So perhaps you've already chosen what you want to do. Using the arms, sitting or standing, or taking the time to rest. So choosing something that feels good. Perhaps you're already off on it. So taking your time to breathe in, opening the front of the body, easy shoulders, making sure the face is relaxed. And then breathing out, softening the yin, the front of the body over, and the yang part of the body can start to be activated. An active opening of the back of the body, breathing out and uncurling, and we get part way up. We're going to breathe in again. So the front of the chest and the belly can open again, and then undo the arms. Resting breath in the middle. I'm going to breathe in, softening the front of the body. Breathing out, folding over gently. Again, anytime you're dizzy, please rest. Take a moment, either standing or lying down. Breathing out and arm curling. Midway up, we want to start to breathe in again. Opening the arms and releasing them again. So we'll do it once more if that feels okay for you. Breathing in. Opening up that gorgeous Ren Mai channel from right underneath the root chakra, through the pubic bone, through the sternum, all the way up into the bottom of the jaw, and then releasing it, allowing the hair to relax, folding over as we breathe out. Breathing in. As we breathe out again, softening the body, allow more weight into the feet, and then breathing in. So we open the arms again, and then releasing. Super. All right, nice and easy with the body. You might want to give it a shake out if you've been standing. Shaking out. Great. So if you want to come to sitting, please do. I'm going to get up another slide for us. Hope everyone's doing all right. Oh, lovely. An internal movement of mind Qi is as important as external movement of body. Exactly. It's listening, really listening on the inside. Even though you can make a massive movement, you might really want to stay a bit smaller. You can also be very mindful and move big and rapid as well. Okay, I'm going to find this slide again. So here is a conception vessel that we've been gently awakening this morning. So this is the point where it starts underneath the sitting bone, between the tailbone and the pubic bone. And we're going to come up in a moment and find CV3. Hopefully it got in the next slide. Yes. So conception vessel, CV number 3. So as you can see on the drawing here, we've got the outline of the pubic bone where it fuses at the beginning. CV2 is right on the border of it. And then you come up 1 sun, which is 1 of your thumb widths up, or 4 of your thumb widths down from the navel, the belly button. So we're going to find that in a moment together. It's got this gorgeous name, the central pole, or the center Qi. It's the exact point, the center of our body. It strengthens the bladder functions because CV3, not only has it got the name of being on the Ren channel or Ren Mai or conception vessel, it's also a bow point. Goodness me, there's a gazillion names for this area, and it's the bow point of the bladder channel. So it strengthens and connects really in with the water element, the bladder and the kidneys. So it's a great one for tonifying and nourishing our lower burner. And guess what? When we've got some power and energy in our lower burner, hopefully the rest of the burners feel really good as well. It drains dampness and damp heat from the lower abdomen, regulates our uterus, and for women out there, and the menses. It moves stagnation in the lower abdomen. It's a meeting point for all the yin muscles and channels in the lower leg. So we've got our liver, spleen, and kidney. Ages ago, we looked at spleen 6 on the lower leg, contraindicated in pregnancy, but it's the 3 yin meeting point. And this CV3 connects in with this area as well. So it's really looking after the yin in our body. And it strengthens the kidney and the Jing essence. So I think it's a wonderful point. I love connecting in with it within Shiatsu treatments and working down the front aspect of the body to help strengthen the yin. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing the slide for a moment. And we'll come back to it in a little while because I want to show you what that's connected to with the chakras. So we're going to come to sitting and we're just going to tune into it. Actually, I'll come up a little bit so you can see. So you want to find your belly button, and you've got that top edge of your pubic bone here. So I'm going to do 4 sun, so 4 of my thumbs, so that's 4 of your thumbs, because that's what we measure off. So I'm going to do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we are, CV3. You can find that maybe with fingertips. So index finger, there's the belly button, and then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 fingers down. You're checking in where the edge of the pubic bone is, that's CV2. We're finding CV3, all right. So you might find it's quite tender or sensitive. You might gently want to hold it with the whole palm of your hand, or using fingertips very lightly. So I like to press gently in and just allowing kind of like an expansive feeling, and allow the breath to pour in. You might imagine it pouring down from the nose and throat, down the central channel, our conception vessel, all the way down to this gorgeous point here. Or if breathing through the hands and straight into this point this way works for you, do whatever image is best. Gently pressing in this point. So we're sending the energy all the way back to meet the back of the body. So we've got our Dan Tien at the front and our Ming Men at the back. And this point is such a lovely one for connecting in with these channels. Points, I mean, in the body, areas in the body. Allowing the breath in. Lovely. And then gently releasing that. You might want to give the belly a little bit of a rub. I always find this point helps connect and open up the pelvis as well, the pelvic bowl. Particularly, I mean, obviously for all of us, but particularly for women, if we have any kind of holding or stagnation, so very heavy or thick periods, this point I feel really helps release and relax the pelvic girdle. And also afterwards as well, when we've finished our cycles, perhaps in the menopause, we need a bit more tonification of our yin to really nourish us. This point is beautiful for that. Okay, I'm going to come back to the slides. We've got just about enough time. I want to show you how that's connected in with the chakras. Here is a beautiful picture of all the chakras. We've got the root chakra, which would correlate in with CV1, right underneath our pelvic bowl where we sit. And here's the second chakra. And it's connected in, even in Indian medicine, it connects in with our Chinese medicine with the water element. So that's a beautiful correlation. It's CV3 is a bladder bow point, connecting in with the kidneys and the bladder, and in our chakras, it's the water element. I think that's wonderful. I've got a little explanation of what each one does. So here it is on the side of the body. So the second chakra, our sacral chakra, it's connected in with the intimacy and relationships and creativity within the chakra, which is wonderful. And I just want to read the last little bit. So as well as the things where things get stuck, when it's working wonderfully and it's nice and open, you have the ability to share, harmony in your relationships, and easy physical contact. Fluid movements and attractiveness shows that the chakras open. So it's a sense of ease within yourself as well. Okay, and the same thing again here. The second chakra is located between the pubic bone and the navel. The upper part of the sacrum to the second lumbar vertebrae is associated part of the spinal column. Wonderful. Jane, lovely. Did a meditation this morning in which I identified and transformed an energy block in my solar plexus. And today's class working opening CV and GV. Oh, that's wonderful. Strong twists to release the middle burner. Help release and take you to a new space. That's wonderful. That really will help with the solar plexus as well. So as we go along the CV and GV points, we're also going to connect in with the chakras so we can have a little look through this as well. So I'm just going to stop the slides again. So this is the wonderful point area in the body. So if we come to sitting, and I wanted to read a tiny little bit about the chakra and this area in the belly. So you can either come to sitting, or you might want to rest lying on the ground. You might want to be in a nice long shavasana, or have your feet connected to the ground and the knees up in our supine rest, and placing the hands over this area. You can rest here, easy breath. You can have the eyes closed. So you sit or lie down as you feel most comfortable. I'm just going to read a tiny little bit about this chakra and this area in the body, and then connect in with the sound of it to help the vibrations of opening up and nourishing this area on the CV channel. You can say the sound out loudly as you breathe out, or you might just want to say it in your mind, particularly if there's any other people working from home. They might want to hear any umming or humming next door, but feel free to do what feels comfortable for you. So I just wanted to say about the second chakra. So I've got a very large book, so I've left it lying on the floor. So the second chakra, it's an awareness of creativity and human relations is nurtured. I really, really like that. So the first chakra, the root chakra, is where our focus is first brought. The second chakra is an awareness of creativity and human relations is nurtured. And then the third chakra, coming up just a little way around the belly button, the awareness is brought to commitment where balance is found in the core of the body. And this is named in Kundalini practice as a lower triangle. And these first three chakras are seen as forming the foundation of our physical and energetic form. I think that's beautiful. We won't go into the rest of them just yet. Okay. We're just going to come into the sounds. I can see in the chat someone wants the slides downloadable. I'm going to have a little look in a minute, see if that's possible, to see if I can share it with you. I think I have to make it a downloadable file, but perhaps actually what I will do is I'll attach these slides to the Shiatsu Center's website on the page where you can find all the information about the previous classes. So I'll put them up there for you. Okay, I don't think I can share them as a download at the moment because it's a different file type. Anyway, let's not get too heady. We're going to come to our breath work. If I can find the correct page, I want to come to the four chakras, the chakras in our body, and we're just going to, just for the last moment before we finish the class, the sound for the second chakra is Ram. So what I want to do is connect into the root chakra to begin with, and then draw that energy up and find the second chakra, sacral chakra. So we're going to close the eyes. Obviously, if you need to go, thank you very much for coming. It's been lovely. And yes, there will be the recording for all of us afterwards. So breathing into the body. You can have the eyes closed if you want to. I'm just going to allow the pelvis to really root down into the ground or onto the chair. I'll calm back a little bit. So allowing the pelvis to relax. Easy breath. You might want to have the hand on the lower belly or lying down. Okay. And we're going to draw our attention to the breath and the feeling and area underneath the body in our root chakra. And as we breathe out, we can start to say Lam, L-A-M. Breathing in, breathing out. You can say it in your mind, Lam, or out as we breathe out, saying that word, vibrating that word, Lam. Yeah, a little bit stuck in my throat there. Lam. Lam. And then easing the breath. I'm going to draw the attention all the way up through the pelvis and to our second chakra. It's opening our imagination to the deep reservoir of creativity and resting in our sacral chakra. And with each out breath, the sound is VAM, V-A-M. You might want to say it in your mind or resonate it outwards. So breathing, and we'll do 3 breaths here before we wrap up the class for today. So breathing in, VAM, VAM. It's finding a pitch that resonates best with this area. It might be lower than mine or higher. One more breath here, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, releasing the hands. You might want to continue with that, playing with that practice after we end the session. So you can stay resting on the ground. You might just want to tune into the body. You might want to come to sitting. Seeing where the breath is now. And I'm just going to pop in, how are you doing? If you're still there and you haven't run off, I'm sorry about my slight lateness this morning. Seeing how we're doing now, we're more balanced, about the same, hopefully not less balanced. Oh, great. Everybody looks like they're more balanced. We've really drawn in the Qi to open up the upper burner. We've really gone for a good old swing this morning with our middle burner and connecting in with our gorgeous CV channel into that wonderful point that connects in with the chakras as well. Thank you so much for being with me this morning, and thank you very much, Basti, for looking after the chat. It was very active, and the slides I will put up on the website as a downloadable file. Oh, here's Basti. Hello.
That was great, Kat.
Oh, wonderful. I'm very, very glad. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to get in on a different resonance with the channels.
Yeah, I love that. Sorry, I'll let you carry on.
That's all right. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. We'll get that file put up. I'll put a few more notes on for the GB channel, so you've got that for later in a few more weeks. But have a lovely day, and I think you've got Shakura next week on the class. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon. All right. Thank you, Basti. Bye-bye.